Whilst playing through Donkey Kong Bananza, one of the things which stuck out to me most was the Fractone NPCs. These living crystal fellas can be found throughout all of the underground, from the high layers all the way down to the planet core. Oh, spoiler warning by the way, for like the entire game. And like seriously, if you haven't played through this game yet fully, please do that before watching the video. There are some serious surprises you are going to want to experience yourself, you know, unless you don't want to pay $500 to play a monkey smashing game. So hit that watch later button. I bet you never heard a YouTuber tell you to do that, eh? And you're already clicking stuff down there, so, you know, hit the subscribe button and that, you know. Anyways, that was your spoiler warning. So, King K. Rool. Wow, what a surprise. What's the video about? Oh yeah, so the Fractone NPCs. You're first introduced to the Fractone NPCs in the hilltop layer, which is like kind of the second level in the game, where you fall straight into their village. All of the Fractones are incredibly friendly to you, and they all welcome you with loving... Oh, they don't have arms. They all welcome you with lovingness into their village, even if you completely level the village. These guys instantly give off the vibe of, you're safe here. They even have their own village music, which instantly connects you with these Fractones and tells you a bit about their character. The Fractones are no stranger to this place, and you are in their territory, but that's okay because these guys are here to follow you on your adventure and to cheer you on. Even when you beat the shit out of them and rip chunks out of them, they're still your friend. The Fractones have to be the chillest NPCs in the game, and they have some serious competition, so that's impressive. And although at first you might think they have simple designs, these guys can in fact turn into anything they want. And the further underground we go, the more examples we see of this. Now, I don't want to spend this video just gushing over how these guys have cool designs, but seriously though, for how simple these guys are, I really like them. The reason I wanted to make this video is because I wanted to speak about a Fractone we are introduced to in this layer, but we do not see throughout the whole game. I'm sure for those of you that have played through the game, you have seen at least one of these glowing message boards. These boards were left here long ago by a Fractone named Exploritone. We never see him, only his messages left behind for us. The Exploritone is on a mission to find out the origins of him and his species, the Fractones. And to get his answers, he's heading to the planet core. From this point onwards, in every single layer you will find small lore drops and extensions to the Exploritones adventure. These entries are all especially interesting because we get to hear what things were like before Voidco came through and poisoned all the water, turned the lights out, and even temporarily froze some of the Fractones. On their way down, they told stories, helped communities, and even taught the Fractones at the planet core how to speak. And speaking of the planet core, this is where Exploritones adventure sadly ends. Right in front of the glowing planet core, you can find the final message board. Here lies Exploritone the Adventurer. May they rest peacefully in this land, under the warm embrace of the mother Bonandium root. On my first playthrough, I barely read through any of these billboards, but when coming across this one and clicking on it, my jaw genuinely dropped. This character that I knew so little about, but also so much, was resting in the very ground underneath my feet. And I think the worst part about this is that we never get the answer. What is the origin of the Fractones? And what killed Exploritone? Was it King K. Rool's crooks? Or did he just die some other way? Or did Exploritone get all the answers they were looking for and simply wished to be buried here to conclude their story? Although we may have never seen Exploritone, the impressions which the other Fractones in the game give us tell us exactly what we need to know, to tell us that Exploritone was a great guy, and it is so unfortunate that he has passed away. But wait. Exploritone isn't dead, he really was just resting underneath that sign. And after all that crazy build up, Exploritone is literally just a default shaped Fractone. Nintendo really psyched me out and made me think that this guy actually did die down here. He was just sleeping. Although he doesn't actually give us any answers. Nothing else in the room can give us any clues either. Although unfortunately not having much of a conclusion to this saga of stories, we should take some time to speak about the Fractones on our own adventure. I mean, these guys literally had all of their precious banana gems stolen, and by the end of the story we undo most of this wrongdoing. Apart from the banana issue, we kind of eat all of the bananas, but They seem to be chill with it, so I guess we'll just run with that. I think the biggest takeaway for the Fractones in our main story is that we fully open up the underground and allow full access to each layer. And we also bust out the Fractones which were stuck down in the planet core. These guys were stuck down here for so long with nobody to speak to. They actually speak in more broken English because they started to lose their language. These poor guys were stuck down in the planet core permanently without being able to see any of their relatives, because King K. Rool's fat ass was blocking the sinkhole. The Fractones certainly get a good ending. After you initially finish the game, any layer you go to you can find the Fractones, even all the way back up at Ingot Isle. And what's pretty funny is that in the final fight in New Donk City on the other side of the planet, some of the Fractones came up with you and you can just see them on the surface. Imagine what humans were thinking in this scenario. What the fuck? There's also something to do with the Fractones which goes a little bit deeper than you think. The Fractones also have the ability to perfectly mimic the mannerisms of different creatures in the underground. You can find many Fractones which are shaped like the locals of the layer they are on, and they will speak exactly how the locals do too. Initially there's nothing too interesting with that is until you check out the Canyon and Feast layer. Here you can find giraffe and lion shaped Fractones. We never see giraffe or lion NPCs in the game, and yet these Fractones must have imitated this from somewhere. And not just that, but these entire 2 layers are completely themed after those species of animals, which makes me think that there used to be giraffe and lion species down here somewhere at some point. And we don't really know if they escaped the underground or went extinct, but this could also imply that a giraffe and lion elder existed down here at some point. I actually really want to make a separate video about these 2 potential elders and what went wrong in their layers. So subscribe if you'd want to see that. But I do find it kind of eerie how the Fractones are still imitating these creatures long after they have died or disappeared. They're like a walking memory of what once was. What tragedies could have possibly happened? And the Fractones were there to witness it all. Ugh, weird to think about. Fractones also have a deep connection to music. I spoke briefly about this when I was talking about their village theme. But when you speak to Fractones, they always speak in a melody or in rhymes. And I mean, come on, they have an entire layer which they own where they dedicate themselves to listening to music. The connection between music, banana, and rocks needs to be studied. Considering these guys are so musical, it implies that their village themes were also composed by the Fractones themselves. I really like these themes. And they give off kind of a rest area vibe. As soon as you hear one of these, you know you're safe. You hear the first one in the hilltop layer, as we discussed. Then this theme can later be heard in the landfill layer in Trashtopia. This is a pretty similar song, except it's filled with a bunch of banging and clashing instruments, as if the Fractone residents of this place are smashing their tools together in beat with the music. And we do in fact hear this theme a 3rd time all the way down at the planet's core in the Fractone Cradle. This version of the song is a broken down, distant, almost unfinished version of the song. And I think that once upon a time this song was finished, but because the Fractones were trapped down here for so long with nobody to speak to, their theme has also slowly deteriorated, as has their language. They're slowly forgetting the notes to their own song. It's like they're a dying civilization. But luckily throughout the game, we come through to save them. The Fractones are some of my favourite characters from this game, and they are just really interesting. I really hope we see more of these guys in the future, perhaps in a DLC or Donkey Kong Bananza 2, or hey, maybe even as a Mario Kart World Update racer. I would love to play as the Fractone, that'd be my new main. We can only hope, because the Fractones could very well be tethered to Donkey Kong Bananza and never appear again. Whether they show up again or not, the Fractones are definitely going to be held in a lot of people's hearts, including mine. What other mysteries do these rock crystal dudes hold? Too many to count. If you guys have found any answers throughout the game which I have somehow missed, then please drop a comment about it. I hope you enjoyed this Fractone ramble, and I hope to see you guys next time. Goodbye everybody. Thank you to my 2 channel members, Sardeliny and JoJoRune Kris. You guys are the best. Thank you.